A quick note. This used to be a segment in my now cancelled Everything I Watched in 2024 video. The video was cancelled due to the fact that it was taking way too long, and by the time I would finish it, it would probably be released at the end of 2025, which wouldn't make sense. So, with that being said, please enjoy the video and excuse any weird editing quirks that are a direct result of the video it used to be a part of. Smiles to you. I watched Deadpool 1 and 2 and Logan the week before I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's talk about Deadpool 1 and 2 first. Overall, I think they are very entertaining films, and I think they are both kind of the same, but I would venture to say that Deadpool 2 is slightly stronger. Deadpool 1 is more of a proof of concept, more than anything. It was made to show that Deadpool could work in a movie, and suffice to say, it works exceptionally well. Not to say that Deadpool 1 doesn't have a good story. I think his origin is a very interesting story, but I think that the movie doesn't really do it justice because of the pacing this movie has. We spend a lot of time in flashbacks, to the point where it becomes jarring when we cut back suddenly to the main plot, and I think that that makes the viewing of the movie a little harder to watch. I was surprised at how much the costume wasn't really shown in this movie for how iconic it's become, so that was strange. And I didn't love the humor of the movie. A couple good jokes, but nothing that made me laugh out loud. Overall, the movie feels like a movie I would only watch once every couple of years, which is a feeling I don't really get from movies, so that was weird. Deadpool 2 is slightly better though. There is a much better linear story, which is nice to have. Deadpool is in the costume way more, which is awesome, and I think the Deadpool films are surprisingly good at having a lot of heart, which definitely helps this movie's story in particular. The production quality also definitely looks much better in this movie because of the obviously bigger budget they probably got. But in terms of quality of jokes and writing quality, it's not that different from Deadpool 1. General consensus is that Deadpool 1 is good, but Deadpool 2 is slightly better with its story. If there was one thing that is great all across the board in these films, I would definitely say it's Deadpool himself. Ryan Reynolds made the character his own, and I think that there's something really special about that, because that doesn't happen too often. Fun movies, fun characters, okay-ish jokes, so okay, let's get to the good shit now with... Logan is quite possibly one of the best comic book movies, while also not being a comic book movie I have ever seen. Like, you don't even have to watch that other shit. The other X-Men movies don't really matter. It doesn't actually matter to the plot. Or at least, I didn't find it important, or I didn't find it to actually connect, really. The basic gist is that Wolverine is old now. He has to take care of Charles Xavier, and a couple of the mutants are dead, and he's living out in the desert. That's all you need to know to understand the movie going in. The movie is heart-wrenching, paced amazingly, shot amazingly, colored amazingly, written amazingly, like, God! It is such a great movie, and I will say, it is a bit long, and you can definitely feel that length, but I wouldn't want this film to be shorter, as every second of this movie is important. All in all, a great movie. It's the best Western movie about a dying man, an old guy in a wheelchair, and a little girl traveling across the country and killing people. So now, I was finally prepared to watch this movie. But then I watched it, and Deadpool 1 and 2 kinda didn't matter. Like, I'm glad I watched all those movies, because they definitely are important, but in general, Deadpool and Wolverine ditches the other Deadpool movies pretty hard in order to have an entirely new vibe with Wolverine, which kinda sucks, because they could have had a very well-rounded and satisfying trilogy that has the same characters we've all been following for the past two movies. Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Blind Al, Dopinder, and especially Vanessa, who wasn't in this movie despite being super important to the other two movies' stories. But while it's very disappointing that it doesn't feel like the other two Deadpool movies, I think it also really helps the film because, in all honesty, this is probably the best Deadpool movie. The story is much tighter, and the jokes are a bit more funny, which is surprising because this is the MCU Disney movie. I thought it would be much cleaner and watered down, and I was actually surprised when they gave it an R rating. One of the other great things about being part of the Disney umbrella is that the movie got a huge production budget, and looks amazing because of it. You thought that Deadpool 2 had a good budget? Nah, look at Deadpool 3 and its amazing colors and camera shots. And to amend my statement in my review I made on the movie, while I think that the Wolverine stuff is definitely more compelling and dramatic, it's nothing too special and a little predictable in retrospect. Am I forgetting anything I liked about the movie? Oh yeah, the cameos. I think the cameos in this movie are fantastic and add a lot to the movie. Good movie, I'm glad I watched it, and me and my friend had a lot of fun watching it.